One of the things that I like to do when I'm driving is think about what it was like when I was sitting in that classroom, seeing a speaker come in and wondering, okay, what's this going to be? What relevance is this to me? I came to Kansas City today to speak at the Elevation Lab to people that are interested in starting their own business perhaps, or expanding their business, and really to share my story, because I actually went through that program a number of years ago, and through some good times and bad times, I think I've learned a lot. And I really want to share that with others. I was part of the program and it helped me, and I want to try to pass that on. And so I think I want to be as honest as I can with people and lay it out there. And I think people sense that. I think pretty quickly they start sensing, wait a minute, this doesn't have the typical American ingenuity ending, right? This guy started a business, but then it closed. And so I think right off the bat, it gets their attention. And I pretty much lay out for them the realities of what happened, the good and the bad. So my talk here today is not to discourage anyone. It's just to say, know what the challenges are and do everything you can to prepare yourself to encounter whatever risks may come forward. So that's really, I think, why I'm here today, because again, I sat in those seats and I have gone the full circuit in terms of starting and closing a business. Well, one of the first things I found out was, when I started down this path, is it wasn't a straight line like I thought it might be, all right? I'm at point A, I want to be my own business owner, I think this is how you get here. Well, as I started living this life and understanding how that was going to happen, there was a lot of twists and turns, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of learnings that I never even thought I would have, and I'll share some of those with you. And so that was the first realization. Then the second realization was this: I wasn't just going to be the commander of this business that I was going to run. I was also going to be the janitor, I was going to be the payroll administrator, I was going to be the cook, the cleaner. I was going to have to do all these things. I was going to have to pay taxes and payroll. I think people want to look behind the curtain, right? They want to, yes, we understand that's nice, you started a business and all that was successful, but they really want to hear some of the dirt and the details. Not from a negative standpoint, because they're truly curious. They want to know that, understand there is more to it than it's not as easy as it sounds. It can't be. Well, I'm there to tell them, no, it really isn't. If you can't easily explain what your business idea is and how you're going to make money and who your customers are, I think you need to challenge yourself and say, am I ready really to continue? Whatever your product is, you've got to know what separates you from everyone else, and say it distinctly and clearly. And if it's not clear to you, then again, I think you need to maybe develop your idea a little bit more, so how you can know how you differentiate yourself. Another question for you, who are your customers? Do you know who your customers are? You need to be as specific as possible. One of the biggest messages of all I have for you is, do the best research you can do. Look at all the data you can, talk to everyone you can, and come up with the most reasonable, practical financial projections you can do and you can make. And then ask yourself, what am I going to do if I don't make that? What if the sales are 20% below what you think they're going to be? What if it's 50% below? I mean, literally, what are you going to do? Know ahead of time. In fact, I don't know why you couldn't know this generally today, or maybe tomorrow. I'll give you till tomorrow. To say, how much am I willing to invest in this business before I close the doors? Or in a more negative way, how much am I going to lose before I say that's enough? And I would challenge you that you should know that very soon. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $10,000, maybe it's $100,000. But I guess I would just challenge you, know what that number is. Because if you don't, how do you know when to potentially call it quits? How would you know? When they come and they take your car, how much are you willing to invest and spend on this effort before you would say, I'm not going there? So when I look out there at the people attending the class, again, I remember what I was like, but what I see is people, they're probably in a really big transitionary period in their life, right? Either maybe they've lost their job, or they're fed up with their job, or they're just, for whatever reason, they want to change into something else. So I think they're coming from a place somewhat of confusion, of uncertainty. They kind of think they know what they want to do, but not really. And so I try to be empathetic about that, because I want to understand, they're real people and they don't know what they're going to do yet. And so that's why I'm going to try to relate my experience. Say, hey, I was literally in the same classroom, literally in the same position. I was laid off from my job. I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just try to remember that. So as I'm going through my stories and trying to share that, I try to keep that in mind, that what can I tell them to let them know they're not alone. I was in the same place, so let's try to work through this together. One of the reasons I'm here today is because I'm such a believer in these kind of statements, though, is that it was a gut-wrenching experience. It was not pleasant. It is not what we wanted to have happen. We really wish it would have gone the other direction. But in the end, we've learned so much from this experience that now we're in a much better position going forward, right? Well, that's really what this class was for me, and it may be for you if this is your first time through. I lived my whole life working for someone else, but this class gave me that opportunity to now think about how I can work for myself. And because of that training that I received here and my experience with this business, I now just see all opportunities everywhere. I never saw that before. Start looking for opportunities. They're out there, they're everywhere. If you're standing in a line somewhere and griping about, why is this taking so long to do this? I don't know, maybe there's a business opportunity there. Maybe you could do it faster, cheaper, whatever. So if you really want to open up a business and run it, you can do it. You just have to find a way. So when you hit the roadblock, you hit the wall, don't just stop. You know, you can take a step to the side, go around the wall, you can dig under the wall, you can climb over the wall, you can run a whole different direction. Again, I wish you all the best. There's just so much you can do out there. There's opportunities everywhere. You just have to learn to capture and execute it. So thank you very much.